story based off a dream I just had coming eventually. Just so I don't forget it, I'll write the basic outline of the plot here, later refine it, and eventually post again. Also, I'm on mobile, sorry. So here's the plot, at least the parts one remember. For whatever reason, there is a feud between two families. An innocent bystander girl, main protagonist, gets roped into the drama and it only escalates. The first family's son and the second family's son both fall in love with the protagonist, and she can't decide on which one she likes better. Throughout the story, these three people travel across the USA to get away from the drama at home, have their bonding moments one-on-one, and eventually all become good friends. But after a romantic dance, the feelings start to flow, and both men catch on to each other's feelings toward the protagonist. Drama starts up again, and that's all I remember. If you happen to have an idea in mind for the title, 'cause I sure as hell don't, feel free to comment. If I can recall anything else at a later date, I'll post character names and descriptions, personalities, etc. Free art because it's on my skin. Now this is my first time posting on Reddit at all, so bear with me, and it was the beginning of 2018, so not much is remembered. So, background on what I'm like and problems I have, noted for the story. So I was 15, dead inside, surprise, small artist, barely said no to anyone and has haphophobia. For those who don't know what that is, it's basically the fear of being touched. So, advisory last year took place in a small break room, and I was with my friends, let's call them Ty M and Lillian F. Teachers weren't there yet, since they had to print papers, find pencils, etc., so it left a class of 17 there. Ty and I were drawing on a same piece of paper, experimenting on our styles and how they went together. Lillian sat there quietly looking through my other notebook, with my serious drawings in it. In storms, let's call her Avelle, and she took my notebook out of Lillian's hands, flipping through it. Despite the pleas of Lillian to give it back, she refused. Apparently she saw a small heart design, which was for my uncle. She took it though, so I'm pissed, and looked at me. Why, you draw this? Why, I did, and I'ma ask you to put it down. Why, can you draw one for me? That'd be $5. Why, what? She gets quiet for a long moment. Ooh, you mean on a paper? Why, I have to go through materials, my time, wasted inking. Why, you don't understand what I mean. I want it on my hand. Excuse me. Why, my hand? I don't think I can do that. Why not? I'll give you my pen, it doesn't have to cost you anything. How about you screw off? He told you that you would have to pay, so you're trying to get things cheaper by doing that, and I have haphophobia. Why, Ty, stay out of it. And I don't care if you have haphophobia, STDs, PTSD, whatever. I want this. I can't. Avelle started getting irritated by then, ripped that picture out and went across the room, me in clear tears upon that, since I was working on that pic for my uncle, as explained before, and I just sat there packing things up. Then started rumors about I'm forcing her to pay more because I don't like her, or started some dating rumors, which wasn't a problem. Few days later though, she decides to be all puffy and nice, I'm guessing for a free thing once again. Stories from Around the World Story Series, retold by Jadenhaas 11, a story from Australia. Long, long ago there was a boy who had no mother or father. He lived with his tribe, and was often very naughty. That boy, they would mutter angrily. He's a lazy, good-for-nothing who never does as he's told. He won't work and he's up to all sorts of tricks. When the dry season came there was no water in the streams, rivers and ponds, and the people had to walk a long way to the boreholes for drinking water. The boy didn't like walking. He stayed in the camp and, when the water carriers came back, he would beg them for a drink. They would always give him one, but soon the time came when they were really angry with the lazy boy. Go and get your own water, they shouted, and they hid their water bowls. One morning, when the men went off hunting and the women and children went to dig for roots to eat, the boy was left alone in the camp. He played around for a while, but began to feel really thirsty. He looked in the usual for the water bowls, but they weren't there. Eventually, he found them hidden under a bush, and had a good, long drink. Then he thought of a naughty trick: I'll hide the water bowls where those mean people won't be able to find them. Then I can have a drink whenever I like, he said to himself. One by one, he carried the full bowls of water to a small gum tree. Quickly, he climbed up the tree and hid the bowls among the leaves. He was putting the last one on a branch when, by some strong, strange magic, the tree started to grow up and up. The boy clung to a branch as the tree grew taller and taller until it was huge. When it stopped growing, the boy was right at the very top with all the water bowls. In the evening, when everyone came back to the camp, they all wanted a drink, but when they looked under the bush they only found a few empty water bowls. It's that boy. He's been up to his tricks again. Where is he? They grumbled. They looked around and saw the huge gum tree that, only that morning, had been a little tree. At the top, they saw the boy with their full water bowls. Bring down our water at once, they shouted. If you want your water, you'll have to come and get it, the boy shouted back. Two young men began to climb the tree. When they had almost reached the boy, he wailed and moaned with fright. One of the men stretched up to grab him, but, as the boy tried to get away, he slipped and fell down the tree. Bump, 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 right down to the ground. There he lay for a moment, bruised and aching. Then he scrambled up the gum tree again to escape from an angry tribe. Some people began to climb after him, but, by some strong, strange magic, they saw him start to change. Thick fur covered his body. His ears became like black buttons and his nose black and shiny. He looked just like a bear. He had turned into the very first koala. From that time on, all koalas have lived in gum trees. If they are thirsty, they eat a few leaves instead of going down to look for water, and if anyone tries to climb their trees, they moan and wail, just like that naughty boy.